Okay, this is going to sound ridiculous, but the AI literally tried to make my little Lego minifigure the co-host of my clip. Like, my tiny plastic person popped up as the extra speaker, and I genuinely laughed out loud because that is peak AI behavior right there. It even put a little microphone on the Lego, almost encouraging him to tell us his take on the conversation. If you want to know why I run these deep tests, it's because I want DIY podcasters and creators to stop wasting time and money on tools that don't actually help, and hopefully find one that does. Today I'm pitting the most popular AI snippet makers against each other. Opus Clips, Vidyo, and then I will drop in a wildcard at the very end so you can see a real human-crafted comparison. I'm doing this completely old school by grading them A to F, being brutally blunt, and telling you exactly what is worth your precious time. So first up is Vidyo, where I uploaded a long episode, Let the Robot Chew on It, and Vidyo immediately spit back 3 suggested clips. It also helpfully gave each snippet a confidence score that's supposed to reflect how social ready it thinks that specific moment actually is. That is a nice concept, but honestly, we absolutely have to talk about the actual output quality they provided. The AI bizarrely chose a starting point that literally begins mid-sentence with a massive distracting but text overlay on screen. Furthermore, for some mysterious reason, I was nowhere to be seen in one of the clips, meaning my little Lego buddy got all the top billing instead. The subtitle font looked completely wrong, the color was slightly off-brand, and the size was way too tiny for readability. I uploaded my custom brand font expecting it to stick, but the system just shrugged and said nope. So I went hunting through the subtitle settings, painstakingly uploaded my brand font again, changed the color, bumped up the size, added a progress bar because why not, and even toggled music even though my source already had music layered in. There are decent little controls available for positioning captions and accessing templates if you decide to pay, but right out of the box, the default choices felt incredibly generic. The template system is admittedly okay if you are on a paid plan because you can save that perfect look once and not have to redo all those steps every single time. However, the free trial is quite restrictive. You only get 3 clips and very limited customization options overall. I spent time fixing basic things, manually removing auto-inserted emojis, which always freak me out with their random selection, and then I could only download at 720p because free accounts never get the better 1080p export resolution. My final take on Vidyo is that I appreciate that it lets you use custom fonts on higher tiers and move captions around, but the AI's auto choices and framing can be significantly off. For a solo podcaster who has literally never edited video before, it offers a relatively quick start to get something online. But if you genuinely care about maintaining brand consistency or need complex widescreen edits with overlays and specific GIFs, you will probably find its limitations frustrating. Next up is Opus Clips, which immediately gave me 7 clips right off the bat, and similar to Vidyo, it scores them and explains why it thinks each moment will perform well. At first glance, the design options feel much more modern, with layouts, caption density control, I prefer about 3 lines per caption, and appealing color combos that are easy to play with. However, the free plan immediately locked out my preferred font choices, which is an absolute no-go for anyone serious about branding efforts. Also, Opus automatically inserts emojis directly into the captions, which is an aggressive default setting. I know people believe emojis increase engagement, but when every creator using the exact same AI tool has the same emoji-driven style, it all starts to blend together into a visual sameness. Everyone's output starts to look exactly identical, and their engagement growth will inevitably plateau because there is zero differentiation in the presentation. Now for the major problem I encountered with Opus for my testing, noticeable audio synchronization issues paired with weird motion artifacts. Many of the clips started showing a subtle shake or jitter effect, almost like the tool was attempting to simulate camera movement by aggressively nudging individual frames. This unnerving motion was incredibly distracting to watch, making the entire output feel cheap and poorly rendered. The audio lag also appeared in multiple exports, even though I hadn't made anything funky or altered the timing in my original source file whatsoever. When I played the Opus clip directly next to Vidyo's export, the audio drift from Opus was noticeably and significantly worse. That one technical failure alone makes it very difficult for me to recommend Opus to serious podcasters who simply want clean, easy-to-watch social clips. Design-wise, Opus is certainly snazzier than Vidyo, but the underlying production quality issues and customization lockouts make it feel overly template-driven, rather than truly tailored. So I exported both final versions and compared them. Opus Clips had that jitter effect and audio lag, earning it a definitive D from me. Vidyo, on the other hand, didn't jitter and allowed some necessary custom font and caption placement control on its paid tiers, so I ultimately gave that one a C. Both of the automated tools, however, shared a compressed, slightly digital audio feel that I would never want representing my own podcast on social platforms. The single biggest difference that truly mattered to my workflow was that balance between branding control and consistent audio-video synchronization. Vidyo narrowly won that small battle because at least it provided the necessary pathway to use my required font and tweak the caption placement. But when it all boiled down, both AI tools felt like quick and dirty temporary solutions rather than true long-term brand builders for my channel. This brings me to where I throw in my wildcard entry, the good old human-assisted editing workflows we all know and love. I took the exact same episode snippets and ran them through Descript first, and then a fully custom cut using Premiere and After Effects, which we'll call the Bambi Media Standard. The Descript version gave me far more intentional control over GIFs, caption timing, and element placements, moving away from wherever the AI felt like sticking it. The Premiere and After Effects route represents the absolute top-tier option. Captions animate exactly how you want, overlays land in the perfect spot, and you simply don't get weird audio artifacts. But the crucial caveat here is that any custom editing will always cost you significant time and, by extension, money. It is brilliant for high-paying clients who can invest heavily, but it is simply not a practical solution for a DIY creator trying to pump out 4 clips a week on their own schedule. So, this leads us to the real question. Where does Vizard actually fit into this entire competitive landscape? I have been testing Vizard right alongside those other tools, and what immediately stands out is its superior clip selection intelligence. Vizard's AI is genuinely good at finding those real viral moments, the calls to action, the punchlines, the emotional beats without butchering sentences or featuring toy figures. It successfully picks out the key highlights and gives you ready-to-post clips that naturally feel authentic to your original content. But the true game changer here is that it's not just about the auto-picking of clips for a single post. Vizard's integrated scheduling and calendar features are where it transforms from just a time shifter into a massive time saver for your whole operation. If you are juggling a podcast, weekly YouTube episodes, and a consistent social strategy, the auto-schedule function lets you set your cadence and then handles the consistency for you. The content calendar feature means you can manage, review, and tweak all your queued clips in one central place, publishing directly to all platforms without messy CSVs or manual re-uploads. That feature alone is the critical difference between exporting one random clip and having your entire social media calendar humming smoothly in the background every single day. Crucially, Vizard gives you so much more nuanced control over the final look and overall brand voice, supporting custom templates, brand fonts, and color palettes effectively. It also handles things like more nuanced caption behavior, so your text elements never end up stuck in some awkward, unusable spot on screen. You can still achieve that impressive semi-automated speed, but the outputs won't scream that they were generated by a generic, mass-market AI template. It also manages widescreen and complex multi-layered content far more gracefully, meaning your existing GIFs, lower thirds, and visual effects don't get tossed out or mispositioned by the AI. Let me be clear, Vizard is absolutely not a magic wand that solves every single editing problem imaginable. If your project truly demands cinematic motion graphics and frame-by-frame aesthetic nuance, you will absolutely still need a dedicated designer using Premiere and After Effects. And if your singular priority is achieving absolute minimal effort and you are happy to sacrifice all brand control, then Opus and Vidyo might just be good enough for your most basic posts. But if you deeply care about saving your time while simultaneously keeping your brand absolutely consistent while automating your entire publishing pipeline, Vizard offers that essential sweet spot. Essentially, it automates the tedious grind without forcing every single one of your outputs to look exactly like everyone else's template trash. Now for the final grades based on my personal taste and what works best for my established creator workflow. Opus Clips earns a D because the audio sync issues, jitter effect, and lockdown fonts on lower tiers make it too rough for creators needing consistent, high-quality social delivery. Vidyo receives a C as it is more immediately usable for beginners, but its limited clip count and templated outputs mean it's only a starting point, not a complete solution. The human-crafted method via Descript or Adobe gets an easy A for sheer quality, but it is unfortunately both expensive and extremely time-consuming for any one person. Vizard ultimately lands at an A course because it manages to hit that critical middle ground with smart clip selection, real scheduling power, a content calendar, and superior brand controls. It won't replace a dedicated motion designer for premium cinematic work, but for most creators aiming to scale their social presence, it's the tool that genuinely saves time without destroying their unique identity. If you are currently DIYing this entire process, I highly recommend you run a quick experiment. Time exactly how long it takes you to create one clip you actually feel proud of using any of these AI tools. Then, meticulously measure your engagement rates for the next few weeks and compare those numbers against clips that were slightly more polished, or posted with perfect consistency. You will very likely find that your return on investment is significantly better when you invest a little more into tools that actively support your entire workflow, like saving templates and automating posting, rather than tools that just spit out one-off videos. So please, go try them all out for yourself and see which platform truly fits your personal editing comfort level and your current budget constraints. If keeping your personal style unique instead of blending into the vast ocean of generic AI templates is important to you, prioritize tools that let you lock down fonts, color, caption style, and scheduling, because consistency always builds recognition faster than random virality ever will. If this deep dive comparison proved helpful to your process, please hit that like button and subscribe or whatever your platform's equivalent call to action button might be. I promise I will keep doing these honest, real-world tests of all the tools everyone is buzzing about. No fluff, just the pure facts on what actually works for creators who are building things themselves. I remain brutal about what constitutes a complete waste of your time because I personally understand how precious your actual creative hours are as a business owner. Thank you very much for watching this entire breakdown. I am the person behind these tests, and I will catch you all next time with more deep dives and more honest, real comparisons.